I'd like to talk about where you see AI affecting and interacting with the Oracle products, family of products, and how you kind of see that morphing in the future.
Whew. Okay, so this is a big topic, but I'll try and just come at it from some practical ways. I'm actually more excited about all the things that we do here at Oracle that are going to make this a reality. I think Oracle as an organization, as a company, is more positioned to be a better hyperscaler than anybody else in the market when it comes to what I feel is getting your arms around industry data sets that matter for ultimately being able to have conversational interactions with those data sets based upon the market that you're in, and having that context be like relevant to you. A ChatGPT experience for most of us that are doing this through just like business to personal use is certainly very interesting, but I think where a lot of organizations struggle on the business side is how to get arms around their own data sets and apply analytics to that. So there's a lot of really exciting stuff we're doing on not just what we have in our database technology, but like automating our database technology. We have Oracle 23 AI database where we're now starting to bake the AI right into the applications. And this isn't just what's happening inside the construction engineering business. This is happening across all of Oracle. That's pretty fun to watch. I think that's going to lead to a lot of speed in where these problems are going to get applied inside applications where we experience these things every day. That might start or could look and feel like an assistant experience where it's agentic for most of the UIs for us, where I could be in our planning and scheduling, I could be in our contracts, I could be in documents, I could be in risk management, I could be, pick your capability area. And then be able to contextually have it understand the page that I'm on, the types of things that I'm likely to be asking, and give me contextual information based upon that question set. That does a lot of really important things for us. So it might move a lot of the support queue information to be a self-service automation thing where we can answer like 90% of the questions that you might have on a day in, day out basis on how you might get invoice paid, or why is my change order not going through, or how do I make a schedule change, or what would you might recommend on a schedule change given that these are the current logic tie sets. There's lots of ways that we are building out these use cases right now. And those projects are pretty fun to be a part of. And this is just the beginning. We're in the inning one of where we're going to start to experience these things in where most of us as users, see it. But the stuff that's below the waterline is almost more important as far as how you make it real, how you make it better. And our ability to get our arms around larger data sets and the investments that we're also making in data centers and our partnerships. You're going to see Oracle likely assign a lot more partnerships over the next 12 to 18 months. And the partnerships we've already gone through to make assignments with, who would have thought that we would have partnership agreements at an enterprise level with Microsoft, with Google, with Amazon, a year ago? Right. This was interesting because this came out on, I'm not sure if you call into some of our Q4 or sort of end of year results where you got a chance to see our CEO and our chairman talk about sort of the future of where these AI investments are going cross industry. But I think we're well positioned to take advantage of it, but do it in pragmatic ways. Users are still experiencing software. That is where we interact with at least my part of things relative to projects, but I get excited about being able to start seeing those application sets, go into more natural language processing, where I could be out on a job site,
right,
and run into something that I know I need, or a question that I know I need to ask, and then talk about the complexity of what has to get stitched up behind the scenes for that thing to get answered. I know it sounds like trivial, but it's really complicated. When you start thinking about how you're stitching these systems together to be able to have those automations actually work. Right. So structurally, we're doing a lot of exciting things at the database level and at the application level that I think are going to really change the game. And there's only certain companies that I think really are going to have the horsepower to apply to it.
Agreed, for sure. I'd also like to explain to whoever's watching this that they may not be aware of how Oracle has partnerships with companies like CBA and how that works. And it's been a long-standing tradition, partnership, way to interact with the marketplace that Oracle has. And could you provide a little more insight on that?
Sure. So for those of you that may not know, the original Primavera business was essentially built through a series of channel partners. It was one of the ways that our two co-founders were looking to be able to, I think just understand the reality that projects are everywhere, but that regional help, local help, is how projects get done. It's how we train teams, it's how we educate people, it's ultimately where we do training, right? Like all of that stuff is so important for teams to be successful. Having regional players that can be there, like just a phone call, a walk away, for you to get those teams up and running, successfully. And those relationships, those regional relationships, local relationships, are far more longer term, than I think you've been able to see Oracle on its own look to maintain. And that's a strategy. That has been the strategy, is we should be working with localized partners as a vendor and regional partners to be able to help support project teams irrespective of where you are in the world. And we do have a channel system that is that. We have channel partners that literally cover the entire world, with the exception of some countries. It is absolutely critical to the execution of our business, and we need stable, long-term partners like CBA do such an incredible job, irrespective of whether or not we're talking to owners or we're talking to delivery teams. Folks that have deep-seated experience, come from the industry, know the industries really well, know our customers really well, know what sort of pains in their solution sets are, know the products, know how to integrate our products, right? And like all that expertise locally for you is just massive for everybody. So a critical part of our strategy, and we're certainly going to maintain that in the long term.
Thank you.